All right, so the customer complaint is that the block heater isn't working. He had one of his guys come in here and he checks it and stuff, and he determined that the block, he touched it, it's not working. But I will say that we're in an interior enclosure. There's a heater in here. So obviously you want to check the engine temperature. It's the first thing we want to look at, is should the thing even be working. So we're at 91, all right? 91 degrees. I mean, that's, you know, to me that's warmed up, but you know, typically with a functioning block heater, we're talking like it should be like, you know, at least 115, 120, you know, somewhere up in there. But being that we have all these environmental variables like the heater and whatnot, and it just happens to be warm out today too. I'm gonna check the breaker. Space heater, generator, utilities. I'm gonna take a guess, but I'm pretty sure that this is the one that we this is the one we need here, and it's on. So go over to the water heater here. I already dug these wires out. This is basically, you're gonna have the if you look where it says L1, that's gonna be your hot. Depending on how this is wired, I'm assuming it's 208. It's a 2-pole breaker, so that would help. So we got no power to this thing. All right, so I know on this one, everything's done through a contactor in the controller. We come over here to the controller. We open it up. You see it talks about the circuit breaker, jacket water heater. All right, heater, that's just gonna be so this is your power coming in for the heater. So we got power coming in. We got power going out. All right, where's the power going? It's gonna sit on one side of this contactor. Here's the output. Those are the wires I just showed you on the heater. There's nothing, all right? No juice. These wires here, these are called the control wires. That's what controls this contact and to make it turn on and off to basically close. So I can see right now that with this little thing, that little thing poked out. So this contact is not pulled in. So now we'll test the contactor. Are we getting signal? We'll look and see. So it says that 24 volt DC. All right, so that's the control. It's a 24 volt DC control. We got the meter set up for DC. So it's DC, it's gonna be battery voltage. Throw that on the ground here. And we'll just check this out. We got nothing. Nothing. All right, so what controls this? This is the control circuit. EC2. C6B. Battery voltage, C6B. Okay, all right, so there's got to be some sort of thermostat. So let's go check up on the let's go check on the thermostat housing. Make sure I don't fucking get through my leads. So typically, okay, yeah. So I just saw this. I saw this logo at the corner of my eye. So this is a thermostat for. That's probably battery voltage going through this. Half of it is a thermostat. This just unscrews. I didn't say it was easy. There's battery voltage in here. I bet you. We should hear that contactor go thunk when it pulls in. Like I said, this engine's sitting in this enclosure. It's warm outside, so it's like 90 degrees. So could the thermostat be bad? I'm thinking yes. That's what the thermostat looks like. You probably got battery power coming in on one side of that thing. So pull it out away from the engine. That'll help cool it down. Put it on something cold. That's cold. And I'll wait for that to cool down a little bit. You should hear the contactor over there clunk in a minute. All right, so this should have closed by now. So I'm gonna take this off here. All right, so I'll just take that off there. So, and then what you can do is get over here where my meter is, and I'll show you. So I got my meter set up. We got it on continuity. This thing here, this just pulls off. This is the actual thermostat in here. And that's basically what it looks like. So I'm gonna test to see what position it's in. We want to see it actuate. So right now, it being, I know it's got the heat tape on it, but it should be closed right now, but it's not. You see, we'll test the leads. So the leads are good. So either it's just too hot in here, or this thing ain't working. So we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Let's see. It might just be broken. Give it a good whack. All right. See, now it's working. Now it's closed. I'm gonna put it back in here. As soon as I put it back in here and I go plug it in, you're gonna hear that contactor pulling. Watch. It's just, you know, this thing here, it just screws down into there. That's just that aluminum thing just gives you that heat conductivity through there. So as soon as I put this back on here, I want you to listen. You're gonna hear a thunk. All right. Did you hear it? Thunk. I heard it. So now we come over here. Where are we at? So remember before, we weren't getting any no juice. I'll show you what this looks like. So that's pulled in now. You see how it's pulled in? I'll go over on the other side here. With this, remember before, we weren't getting any juice on this heater. So there you go. Usually needs to be about 120 degrees before it's going to shut off. Listen for that thunk. I'm going to give this a quick little warm up here with the torch. I'm going to kind of... See, you just heard it thunk. Heard it thunk? That's because it got hot. So it shut off. Now let's see if it turns back on. Here, listen for the thunk. I don't know if you heard it thunk. I thought I heard it thunk. You want to know how we can check real quick? So it must have thunked. So I'll try that again with the heat. See, you heard it thunk. That's shutting off. It just seems like it doesn't want to reset on its own. So we'll put it on here again. I don't know if I heard a thunk or not. I don't think I did. We'll test it. Do we hear a thunk? We must have heard a thunk because it's off again. Let's try that one more time. Grab the torch. a quick little, I'm gonna do that. All right, so I took the heat shrink off this, and I found something. You see that number right here? It says L100 minus 20F. So what that means is this thing opens at 100 degrees, and then after 20, it'll close again, meaning at 80 degrees, it'll close, allowing the power to go through it, turning the heater on. So I wanna see what position we're in now. So I'm gonna put it on continuity. I'm gonna do without I'm just gonna do regular resistance, so we don't have to deal with the beeping here. So what I wanna see is I wanna see this thing call, and then I wanna cool it down. I'm gonna warm it up as if the engine was warm. It should open, and then I wanna see it cool down again, and it should close again as if it was gonna call. So 0.3, that means it's calling. We're gonna give it a little all right, so now it's like it's warmed up again, right? So now what we're gonna do, pour this water on, that should cool it off and make it close again. And you should see this go to 0. You're seeing mega ohms here. That's an open, basically. There it goes. So now it'd be calling for heat. So the problem isn't that this thing doesn't work. The problem is it's just hot as hell in this room. So that's the issue here. So that's it. Put it back in and just say there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a thermostat. You keep the room too goddamn warm. That's why it doesn't fucking turn on ever.